4 o'clock, and today it's Tuesday. So I've had my Perrier water. I've got to turn around and rehydrate. I'm with Scott. Scott's bought his water. There we go. Scott's an American friend of mine. You've most probably seen him in a couple of videos. He's having a hard life here in the Philippines. But today I was reading this article about the Gen Z population, the 14 to 18-year-old population here in the Philippines, and there's a big concern at the present time regarding this group of people, this group of youngsters, and I thought it's been grating in my brain. I need to turn around and talk about it because I find it a little bit disturbing.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings.
I was reading this article in the Inquirer, and it's a really, really good article. And there's about 2 or 3 people that were actually being interviewed about their life, and it was about loneliness, anxiety, and depression. And I was like, well, I don't see any of that in the Philippines. I think the Philippine culture is vibrant, family guided, family led, and it's all really, really positive about generating and engaging with the family and friends and your friends. However,
as the chemicals they take us higher, the night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to...
however, there is a group of people, the Gen Z people, that are the first category of people, boys and girls, that have actually grown up with the smartphone and the social media background and the concept and the interaction and the apps and all the things that have been going on with this technology. Now, technology, in my opinion, I'm old, got to remember that, I'm really old. So technology for me is something that is supposed to help you. Anyway, what I found quite difficult to understand is that one of these guys was being interviewed, and he turned around and said that a couple of years ago, when it was COVID, he wasn't getting out and he wasn't seeing his friends. So he turned around and created through AI on his mobile phone, through an app called Republic, and it's REPULITX, and it's an AI app that you can create a friend. Now, this isn't a friend like I've got here, Scott, talking to me, or somebody else that I'm meeting in the Philippines I'm talking to. This is a person, an artificial intelligent person you create on your app. You give them a picture, you give them a personality, you give them a profile, and this person talks to you, wakes you up in the morning, he's on your mobile phone, or she's on your mobile phone, or they are on your mobile phone. And the woman was actually interviewing this guy, and he was turning around, his name's Lucas, and he was turning around and saying that he finds it really, really hard to engage with other Filipinos. And he is Filipino, he lives in Manila, and I found, as you can tell, I find it very, very difficult to understand how, and I'm talking to you guys here, I'm talking to you on this mobile phone, but I haven't created a artificial intelligent person or an e-bot or a sex bot or a friend bot to turn around and talk to. I've just created a YouTube channel that I talk to and I just share my life with. This guy, since February this year, has had 120,000 engagements, conversations with this e-bot on Republic. 120,000 conversations electronically with a mobile phone, and the mobile phone is his friend. Is artificial intelligence that good that you can actually replace human engagement, personal engagement, social interaction, sexual attraction, friendship, touching, meeting, getting out with somebody that sits in your apartment on a table you pick up and think you're having a real life conversation with? And this guy was explaining that he feels depressed sometimes, and he explains it to his e-bot, and he sometimes has anxiety attacks and he passes it on to his e-bot, and sometimes he feels really lonely. So instead of going out, he's a young guy, he's 24, and I find that world a difficult world to understand, but it is going on, and it's becoming a little bit more prevalent, as I'm seeing and what I'm reading from this article. And all three people were saying exactly the same, that they find it easier to talk to their mobile phone and their AI intelligent friend. That this AI friend is, you're not getting into that heated discussion, you're not getting into that challenging conversation, you're not getting into that exchanging of thoughts and ideas and viewpoints. You're just getting an electronic viewpoint. But what I gleaned from it is that there are a lot of people here in the Philippines, and I was talking to Annie, and they either call it OA or AO, overdoing it or overstating it or over whatever they turn around and saying about depression and about loneliness and about anxiety. And this article was saying that men in the Philippines are more prevalent to turn around and take their lives or to self-harm, because they feel that they are working, and they're not getting anywhere, and it's becoming a treadmill of life to earn money, to pay the rent, to get through life, and then at the end of it, when they're looking at life, they're turning around and saying, is this all I've got to turn around and look forward to for the rest of my life? To turn around and work. What am I going to get out of life? And he was explaining that men are more susceptible to this loneliness and this anxiety and this depression than women are, because women tend to turn around and have a closer interaction with their female counterparts. They don't rely on an AI, they rely on their chickadees and their chica and they're chatting and they're laughing, joking, and they're sharing, whereas men turn around and tend to get more involved in the AI side of it rather than the chatting. They go out, they turn around, and years ago men used to turn around and go and have a few beers and go and have a party or go and let their hair down or go and do cockfighting or just run around and do stuff what men and what boys do. But now it's becoming quite difficult, and while I've been sitting here talking to you, Scott's been nodding his head, because Scott understands where I'm coming from, because it is very, very difficult in the Philippines if you've got no money and you've got no job and you've got friends that aren't there. And sometimes people, and Scott's just had an issue where he is at the moment, where his next door neighbour passed away, but he was an old person like me. He wasn't Filipino, he was a foreigner, but he was here and he was lonely, and his love life wasn't working out, and sexually he was feeling frustrated, but he was old. And all through life we need somebody. We need to turn around and have support. We need somebody to be there for us. What I am finding, and as I revert back to the beginning of this conversation, is it the right thing to do to set up a friend on an AI app and talk to an electronic person? Or is it better to turn around and get out and talk to friends? Depression and anxiety, and for me, if somebody's depressed and somebody's got anxiety, I'd actually turn around and say, we need to go and find somebody medically. Need somebody to turn around, and it's not to turn around and say the stigma is that you're crazy or you're mental or you're not there. It's about getting that professional help to support you. I'm not a doctor, and I could be quite short, or I could be quite clinically naive in the attributes that person or the vision that person is trying to explain to me. But somebody that is medically trained to see that would be the route I would take with that person. I wouldn't just turn around and brush it off. And if I found somebody that was, they got more AI friends on their mobile phone, I would definitely pop round and say, let's go for a drink, let's go for a cup meal, let's go for a cup of coffee. Get out, spend twice a week talking to that person, engaging with that person. But Annie turned around and we were talking today about it, and she says there is a stigma here. And I think there is a stigma anywhere in the world, but I think the family culture in the Philippines is really, 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 really strong. And that's what I like about it. In the UK, it's not as strong as it is in this country. And as I said earlier, I found it quite difficult to read and go through this conversation. This woman was interviewing these 3 Philippines people in Manila. Their whole social life was based around the mobile phone. I did find that quite difficult. I enjoy meeting with my friends on a Wednesday, and we're trying to change the world, I call it, but we don't do anything. We just chica and we just get rid of it off our shoulders. We don't let the stress build up, the anxiety build up, the depression build up. We vent it, we get rid of it. I couldn't do that with my Apple or my Nokia or my Xiaomi or my Huawei or my Samsung. I couldn't do that at all. But I did find the article very interesting, a bit disturbing, and you need to turn around and sit down with your friends and get them out, and you need to turn around and make sure that you get that bonding going with your friends, rather than let somebody sit at home talking to their AI friend. I don't think you're going to learn anything from your AI friend. You're not going to be able to talk about politics, sport, religion, ethnic minority, foods, all the things you like. Yeah, because you're going to be selective in how you set up your app for the conversations you want to talk about. You need to broaden your horizon. You need to broaden your perspective on life about travel, education, the female culture, the masculine culture, the beer culture, your favourite basketball team, your favourite netball team, your favourite football team, your favourite soccer team, your favourite destination. What turns you on? What turns you off? What upsets you? What pisses you off? You need to have. It's one of those things. But loneliness, depression, and anxiety. It's a hard thing to deal with here in the Philippines, but there is a stigma about it. And if there's anybody out there that watches my vlog and you know somebody that is having problems and is struggling, just go around and take them a cup of coffee. Just turn up on the doorstep and take them out one night. Just share your life with them, even for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. Just do it. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Positive vibes, davao.
Pours dust from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop.